Good day everyone. Today we're gonna have a quick review about Module 6A, which is differentiating markup from margin under business mathematics. So if you're ready, let's do it. Okay, so let me give you a short introduction about the lesson. Margin and markup are two different accounting terms that use the same inputs and analyze the same transaction. Yet, they have shown different information. When we talk about markup versus margin, there are many commonalities, but there are also key distinctions. So parang kambal, 'di ba? Pag hindi mo siya kilala talaga, malilito ka kung sino yung isa sa isa. Pero kapag nakilala mo na yung dalawa, malalaman mo na yung distinction nila, kung ano yung pinagkaiba. Kasi marami silang commonalities. And yet, there are also key distinction. So parang ganun yung margin and markup. Okay, so before we discuss everything about margin and markup, let me give you the objective of the lesson. Number one is, at the end of this, I hope you can differentiate markup from margin. Number two, can able to solve markup and margin using the data in the given problem. To understand margin and markup, first, you must know these three terms. Number one, revenue. Number two, cost of goods sold or COGS. Number three, gross profit. Okay, so dapat alam nyo yung tatlong yan. So unahin natin yung revenue. Sabi dito, it is the income you earn by selling your products and services. Ibig sabihin, ito yung pera na kukuha mo pagkatapos mong ibenta yung produkto mo o pagkatapos mong gawin yung serbisyo mo. Ang sabi pa dito, revenue is the top line of your income statement and reflects earning before deduction. Kapag gumagawa ka kasi ng income statement, laging nasa top line or laging nasa taas yung revenue mo, followed by deduction going down to your profit. Pangalawa, yung cost of goods sold or tinatawag nating COGS. It refers to direct costs of producing the goods sold by a company. This amount includes the cost of materials and labor directly used to create the good. Ibig sabihin, kapag kino-compute mo yung COGS or cost of goods sold, ay kailangan ipagsama mo yung cost of materials and yung direct labor cost. Kasi hindi lang naman materials yung binibili mo, pati yung mga gumagawa ng produkto mo, binabayaran mo rin yon. So kasama yon sa cost of goods sold. And the last one is gross profit. Gross profit is the revenue left over after you pay all the expenses of making your products and providing your services. Gross profit is revenue minus COGS. Yes, ito yung perang natira after mong bayaran or i-deduct lahat ng expenses sa paggawa ng produkto, katulad ng materyales, pati yung direct labor cost. Sa madaling sabi, ang gross profit ay yung kita mo na o yung tubo.
Okay.
Why is it important to calculate for the margin and markup? Calculating for margin and markup is key to setting prices that do not only cover your expenses but also leave you with a profit. Importanteng computein yung margin and markup kasi isa to sa basihan kung paano tayo nagbibigay ng presyo. Isinasaalang-alang natin yung mga expenses natin, hindi lang yung mga materyales at iba pang bagay, para kahit papano naman, tumubo naman yung isang negosyo. So the question now is how to calculate margin. A margin or a gross margin shows the revenue you make after paying COGS. To calculate the margin, start with your gross profit. So you have to subtract your revenue to COGS, then find the margin by dividing the gross profit by the revenue. To make the margin percentage, multiply the result by 100. So let me give you an example to show the process on how to calculate margin. Example, you are selling a bicycles for 12,000 pesos each. Each bicycle cost you 11,500. Calculate for the margin. Ang una natin gagawin is kukunin natin yung gross profit. So para makuha yung gross profit, we have to subtract revenue to the COGS, which is the cost of the goods sold. So substitute lang natin yung mga value nila. 12,000 pesos minus the COGS, which is 11,500, is equal to 500 pesos. So ngayon, since meron na tayong gross profit, pwede nating makuha yung margin. So yung margin is equals to the gross profit over revenue. So what we're going to do here is we just substitute the value of gross profit, which is 500 pesos, over revenue, which is equals to 12,000 pesos. So when you divide 500 to 12,000 pesos, will be equals to 0.042. But we have to convert this one into percentage para makuha natin yung margin percentage natin. So what we're going to do is we have to multiply 0.042 by 100. So when you multiply 0.042 by 100, it will be equals to 0.4.2%. That means you keep 4.2% of your total revenue. Ibig sabihin din nun, meron kang 0.042 sa kada piso na meron ka dun sa revenue. So here we're trying to calculate for markup. So these are the things you have to consider. Markup shows how much more your selling price is than the amount the item cost you. Like a margin, you start finding a markup with your gross profit, revenue minus COGS, and then you can find this percentage by dividing your gross profit by COGS. So let's see what will happen. So now we're going to use the same problem dun sa pag-compute natin sa margin. Again, you're selling a bicycle for 12,000 pesos each. Each bicycle cost you 11,500 pesos. And then let us calculate for the markup. And solving for the markup, we have to get first the profit. So yun muna yung isa-solve natin. Okay, so profit is equal to revenue minus the COGS, or the cost of goods sold. So substitute the value of revenue, which is equals to 12,000, minus the COGS, which is equals to 11,500, and then subtract them, we got 500 pesos. And then after you have the profit, we can now solve for the markup. Okay, so markup is equals to the profit divided by the COGS. So again, substitute the value of profit, which is equals to 500, and the COGS, which is 11,500. Dividing them, we got 0.0435. But you have to make this one into percentage. So you have to multiply 0.435 by 100. So multiplying 0.0435 by 100, we get 4.35%. So anong ibig sabihin ng 4.35% markup? Ang ibig sabihin nun, you sold the bicycle for 4.35% more than the amount you paid for it.
Okay.
So now we will check your understanding by completing the table with the needed data. So what you're going to do is you have to provide the value of markup and margin per column. So you have the first set, which is 250 for COGS and then 500 for the revenue. Second set, we have 325 for COGS and we have 250 for revenue. So I will just give you 2 minutes to answer the markup and margin per column. Your timer starts now. Okay, time's up. So let us now check your answers. For the first column, the markup is equal to 100%. The margin is equal to 50%. Okay, for column number 2, markup is equal to 38% and the margin is equals to 28%. Okay, so congratulations. Job well done. Okay, so the next topic is conversion. There may come a time when you know your margin and want to convert it to your markup, vice versa. So, to convert margin into markup and vice versa, we have to use the following formula. Okay, so for the markup is equal to margin divided by 1 minus margin times 100. Okay, so for the margin, we have margin is equal to markup divided by 1 plus markup and then multiply it by 100. So, let's see what will happen. Okay, so let's say we want to convert 30% margin to markup. So, our given is 30% margin and this would be converted to markup. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you have to change percentage to decimal. So 30% would be equal to 0.30. And then after that, we can use now the formula for markup, which is equal to margin divided by 1 minus margin times 100. Okay, so substituting the given, so we have 0.30 divided by 1 minus 0.30 times 100. So we have 0.30 divided by 0.70. So sinubtract natin yung dalawa times 100. So dividing 0.30 by 0.70, we have 0.4285 times 100. Multiplying that numbers, we got 42.85. But we have to round this number to a whole number, so we have 43% for our markup. Let's have number 2. We are going to convert 50% markup to margin. So let's do it. Okay, so let's have example number 2. We have 50% markup and this would be converted to margin. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is you have to convert the percentage to decimal. So the equivalent decimal form of 50% is 0.50. Then after that, we can use na the margin formula. That is equals to markup divided by 1 plus markup times 100. After you write the formula, this time let us substitute the given. So markup is 0.50 divided by 1 plus 0.50 times 100. Okay, so copy 0.50 and then add the denominator. We have 1.50 times 100. Dividing 0.50 by 1.50, we have 0.33 times 100, which is equal to 33%. That is our margin. So that's it. Okay, so for our last activity, we have to complete this table with the needed data. So what we're going to do is we have to convert markup to margin, vice versa. So kindly get a piece of paper and a ball pen, and then I will just give you 1 minute to answer these questions. And your timer starts now. Okay, time's up. So let's see if your answers are correct. Okay, so let's have 8% markup converted to margin. We have 7% margin. Okay, let's have number 2. We have to convert 17% margin to markup. And then we have 20% markup. Okay, congratulations for job well done. So ayun, tapos na yung ating quick review about Module 6A. So I hope you learned something today from me. So kung nagustuhan niyo yung video, please like and subscribe. Nga pala, meron din akong YouTube channel at ako'y naglalabas din ng mga video lessons ko regarding general mathematics. So if you need some lessons about general mathematics, kayo mahiyang mag-visit sa channel ko. So ito yung channel ko. Okay, so thank you so much. Bye-bye.